got the screen. Caldwell Pope is over there. Shot clock at 5. Edwards working, leaning, spinning. Shot, sticks it! Sticks it!
Man.
Timeout, Denver! 39-39 for Edwards.
I'll say it if Jamal Crawford wouldn't. Jordan-esque. That's what that play was. Out of the mid-post for Anthony Edwards as he goes for 43 to give the Timberwolves a 1-game-to-none lead in what promises to be a fairly spectacular conference semifinals. This is Playoff Central Live, presented by State Farm. Good to have you with us. Udonis Haslem right there. Sean Powell from NBA.com. Edwards has 43. The Timberwolves win it by 7. But this was a wildly entertaining game and a bunch to get to. What's your immediate takeaway here?
Well, number one, the Timberwolves aren't scared. They're not intimidated by the defending champions. They came to Denver and basically dominated the fourth quarter with Karl Anthony Towns on the bench. And by the way, obviously give a shout out to Naz Reid to come in, score 14 points in the fourth quarter. They needed that. The other thing, Anthony Edwards. I mean, again, the last time I saw a player carry a team like this is Dwayne Wade, 2006, right? Udonis Haslem?
Hey.
Absolutely. He's just been outstanding. He's on a mission. The other thing about Anthony Edwards is this. He took down Kevin Durant the last round. And he says, you know what? Now I'm going to try to take down 2-time MVP, soon to be 3-time MVP. So this is a guy just trying to really increase his basketball cred by taking down all-time greats.
I mean, he's changed the culture in Minnesota. When everybody talks about Minnesota, they already knew they had talent. They've been a talented team. Did they have the leadership? Did they have the toughness? He's brought that. They embody everything that Anthony Edwards is. They're confident. They're not scared. I love the clip of him talking to Naz Reid on the bench when Naz Reid didn't get a good start. You saw what he did in the fourth quarter. I love undrafted guys. I love X Factor, so I'm a huge Naz Reid fan right now. But like I said, I'm standing on what I said before. I love them in this game, and I like them in this series. I think it's going to continue to get tougher. Denver's a great basketball team, but once again, this team has grown. The team that give you the pain, the team that keeps you up at night, that's the team that sent them home last year. So they had all summer to prepare and think about this matchup against this team and how they wanted to approach this.
I see no evidence to the contrary so far after game one. What a performance by Minnesota, +5 in the fourth quarter to put it away on the road and steal home court advantage. Let's get right back to Denver. Head coach Michael Malone of the Nuggets, who trail for the first time in the past 2 postseasons.
Coach, how concerning, again, a slow start to another playoff game? What sort of did you see in that start? And how did it sort of go on throughout the game?
What's the question?
The start. That's another slow start.
Yeah, I wasn't worried about the start. I mean, it was 18-4. Jamal Murray didn't practice all week, couldn't make a shot. I'm more worried about our second half defense.
Michael, what changed second half defensively for you guys?
We didn't get any stops. I mean, first half, they had 40 points on 36 from the field, and we got back in the game by getting stops and becoming more physical. I thought our bench had a lot to do with that. The Reggie was outstanding, Justin Holiday, Christian Brown. But then in that third quarter, I think at one point, they might have shot like 90% that quarter. Naz Reid got going, Karl Anthony Towns got going, Mike Conley got going, where Anthony Edwards carried the day in that first half. But second half, I just felt not nearly enough discipline and physicality. And they were able to get whatever they wanted. 71% in the second half of the playoff game was unacceptable.
With Edwards, I mean, he's going to get his shots. Did you see anything late that could be done differently, or is it just a matter of, you talk about a make-or-miss league, and he got hot along with Reid?
Yeah, you know, it's a tough one. You know, he is a great player. And I think at halftime he had 25, and no one else really got going. So it was Anthony Edwards' show, but we're up. And then what you worry about in that third quarter, I don't know how many points he scored in that third quarter, but I know Karl got going and the other guys got going. And that's when they become really dangerous, because now you have 3 scorers, 4 scorers, and that can't be the case. I mean, Ann had 43, Karl had 20, Naz had 16 off the bench, Conley had 14. It'll be a quick exit if we allow 4 guys to get off like that. So Ant's got to get his. We can do a much better job. I didn't think we had what we needed to have tonight, and I'll leave it at that.
On that note, Coach, in the back, sorry. What did you learn about your group what did you learn that it's going to require of your group, I guess, in order to beat this team consistently?
48 minutes. You can't play a half of basketball in the Western Conference semifinals. And they're a very talented team. You know, I said it all week long, and I'll continue to say it. There's a reason that they were in first place the large majority of the season. And give them credit. You know, they came in here, took game one. So there's a lot we can clean up and get better at, and we're going to have to. You know, so we can try to tie this series up going back to Minnesota after game two. Players, 18-4 start, so we get down early, fight like hell to take the lead at halftime, and then play no defense in the third, and you can't just trade baskets with that team. So, yeah, there's a lot that we'll look at the film and try to clean up so we can be better. Thank you, Coach. Thanks, everybody.
Well, the diagnosis was pretty quick and simple from Michael Malone that Denver's got to play better defense.
Yeah, I agree. 71% in the second half. That is not winning basketball. That's not championship basketball. I love that Michael Malone didn't come in and make excuses about, Murray being sick or focus on the offensive end. He's holding guys accountable because defense wins championships.
Started in that third quarter when Minnesota shot 14 of 19 from the field. That's north of 70%. Let's go to their interim head coach. Acting head coach. This is going to get Micah Nori at the podium.
Micah, last season in this series against Denver, late game offense was a problem for you guys. What enabled you guys to really execute down the stretch of this one tonight?
Yeah, for sure. And that's the thing we talked about coming in this series. The one thing about the Denver Nuggets, when we talked Phoenix, it was kind of their starts, and that was the emphasis, was get off to good starts. We were able to win each of the first quarter. And what we talked about coming into the Denver series is we have outscored them all 4 games, basically plus minus the first 3 quarters, and they had done a very good job of outscoring us in the fourth. So we went from the start of games to closing games and just talking about just taking care of the basketball, making sure we get good shots. I think the one turnover we had when late Mike was trying to get the ball to Ant. But other than that, I thought we were very, very composed. Obviously, guys getting to their spots, they either had to make a decision to put 2 on Ant, he was finding the right guy, or play him one-on-one, and again, he was attacking downhill.
You guys feel like you're finding the right balance? You have so much diversity you can go to late in the games. It seems like there's a Mike Rudy pick and roll, just kind of mixing it up every now and then, so it's not just one.
Absolutely, for sure. I think when you look with, you have a plethora of options as far as the Mike and Rudy combo, pick and roll, obviously Ant with whomever, and then you still have Karl Anthony Towns, who in his own right. And then what they have to decide, again, is are they going to put 2 on the ball, which usually, if we get off of it in the correct manner, leads to an open shot, or they're playing guys straight up. And as long as we play an attacking downhill, it's either at the rim or a foul.
Naz,